Hello again, Internet. Gonna do kind of a quick one today. Just kind of gonna give an example of how 3D printing can kind of pull you out of the fire every now and then. Um, so I am working on my laser cutter and just upgraded the tube to a much longer one, which means I need longer coolant lines. And I don't have any more of the old coolant line, which is nice and stiff and wouldn't crank and kink up on me. So I've got this new stuff. It's still silicone, it's still nice, but it will kink up because the walls are kind of thin. So I'm just gonna kind of draw what this tube would look like on end, and I'll have to measure it real quick. It's not consistent all the way around. Let's see, we've got about 10.4 versus 11.8. Thereabout. And see how thick is the wall. About 175, 160. Let's say 1.7. And that's going to be inward. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at as far as my tube. And I want to make that go 90 degrees turned as quickly as possible. The way I'm going to do that is with the 3D printed part that's going to support that. So now that I've got my profile of my end of my tube, I want to figure out, well, let's see here. I'm going to convert this. I'm going to put another line over here, which is collinear and equal. I want to know what is the minimum distance from there to there if I'm making a 180. So I just have the tube in my hands and kind of forcing it to not crimp in the middle of it, which I have to measure it with calipers while also doing that, so that gets tricky. But let's see what I can figure out as I go. Just kind of squeezing in the middle of the tube while I'm bringing in the calipers, and I think I can get away pretty comfortably if I'm at 62 millimeters. So then, got that and that. Just draw lines from the midpoints, make these parallel and equal, and make them perpendicular and equal. Just say everything is for construction, and I'm going to put this arc here. I'm going to say it's tangent, which will be tangent with that one, but if I put another tangent, that's over constraining it. So I'm going to put that there. Say for construction and concentric. So that's the path that I have to go. So let's see if we can do swept boss / base. That's how the tube is going to look while it's being controlled, as it were. And I could extrude out, but I don't really need to now that I think of it. So now, if I were to just bend this tube like this, it would crimp. It needs pressure on the sides not to crimp. So I need to make a 3D printed part around it that will prevent that. So let's see. I'm going to start with this and go offset it by just a little bit. I want a little bit of space in there, but not much. So I'm going to go half a millimeter. So it'll be a total of 1 millimeter bigger. Just looking at that, I'm going to go half of that. So half a millimeter bigger total, 1/4 millimeter on all sides. And then we're only going to do like half of this because it's going to be I want to make a two-piece part that is held together with a couple of zip ties, which if that does not make any sense, it will soon enough, hopefully. Okay, so that's my half of circle there. Then I need to go outward with this. And let's see. I'm going to want it to be a minimum of 2.4 thick. It's kind of the magic number with plastic parts if you don't want them to crack. You can get away with 1.6 in some cases, but something safety critical like this, I want 2x4. But I also want just a little bit more because I'm going to need to cut into this so that the zip ties stay in place. And I think that cut is going to be like 0.8. So let's just say plus 0.8. Oh, just 0.8, not 0.08. There we go. And go like so. So we've got a closed profile. And we're going to reuse this guy. And we don't want to merge the result. Okay, so that's like the basic thing we're going to print. But we don't want to start printing from here and then have to support this arc because it won't come out right. So if we have to lose the pretty roundness of something, we should go with the outside where it doesn't have to really interface with anything. So I'm going to go back in to this and edit the sketch. I'm going to just change it a little bit. I am going to go like so, 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 and so. Make this parallel and equal. Make these perpendicular. Make these perpendicular and equal. And make that tangent. Make that tangent. Make that parallel. And there we go. So now this arc is kind of replaced with these. I made those perpendicular with each other, so we're at 45 degrees there because these are perpendicular. Therefore, I can print on this face, and then this is all overhang, but it's 45 degree overhang, so that's perfectly fine on just about any printer. And then that's just vertical. So then if we go out of there, we get that. So, not quite done yet, but that's the basic function or basic thing we're trying to do. So now I want to be able to put zip ties on here and not have them fall off. So I'm going to open that sketch. I'm going to offset this by, what did I say, 0.8? There we go. And I'll just convert this whole face. Now I will hide this, and I'm going to trim some stuff off. And there, that's just a, if I were to want to extrude it, there you go. I don't want to extrude that. What I want to do with that is I want to sweep it, just like I have on everything else. So let's show this again. And we want to sweep this along that. And don't want to merge this result either. Okay, so we had that. Sorry. Let's see. So this is what we just made, and we don't want to add this. We're going to end up subtracting this, removing this. But I want to do it in a particular way, or I want to take just pieces of it away, not the whole thing. So I'm going to try doing here. Just convert. Give me that. Okay. And I'll go in here, just draw in some lines just so it's easier to visualize. And I want to have like strips cut out of here for I want to have strips cut out for the zip ties, sorry. And so that's what I'm going to start just drawing up, is the first strip that's going to be cut out. And of course the strip itself, I want that to be well, just parallel, I guess, for now. And then in the middle of the strip, we'd have go like so. So I'm going to say this is perpendicular, and this is coincident. So now if I drag these out, it should be more compliant. Zip tie, it's about, well, it depends on the zip tie, how wide it is. Generally under 3 for the little zip ties anyway. And so what I'm going to want to do here is set that 2.4 minimum spacing again. And over here, obviously, it'll be larger spacing because it's going straight across. So let me just do a for construction on everything, and these are the ones I don't want to be for construction. And if I go from here and I say I want the midpoint of this, okay, and I for construction it, and then I grab these and I say mirror. There we go. So I now have a bunch of lines, and I'm going to use them kind of like a knife. And I'm going to cut them up. And then some of these I'm going to delete. So what I'm left with out of all that is those. And I'm going to hide them, or hide all the sketches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this body and remove those that I just created. And just like that, we've got a nice little track for the zip tie to sit in. And only issue we run into then is that these are elevated, or it's not touching the build plate there. But we should be okay with that because we've got this part over here, this part over here, so that's just going to be bridging, like the whole way up. It should stay nice and round and everything. And as round as bridging will be. But it's a short bridge, so it should be fine. So that's where we're at. That's a whole project there. I don't know, in probably under 15 minutes, and we can send this to the printer, and it'll probably take an hour or less to print 2 of these, and then I can keep working. I don't have to wait on ordering. Okay, so spend about, I don't know, 15 minutes, maybe less, designing the part. And put it in a slicer. It's going to take about 42 minutes to make. So that's less than an hour to make these parts that will allow me to keep going on my prototype of something that isn't really meant to be 3D printed, but it's getting up a lot of 3D printed parts just because it's so fast and convenient. Because this is rapid prototyping compared to ordering something and waiting 3 or 4 days to get the correct type of tubing that I need. Make these in an hour. Bam. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.